Welcome, my dear viewers. I'm very happy because in real life, a few days ago, I finished one of my longest projects ever with a defense of my thesis, and so I decided to make a deck in honor to the defenders, which we are about to see. I'm probably not going to win the game, but still it doesn't matter. So thank you for being here, all the newcomers, all the old regulars. I hope you enjoy this. Just try to bear in mind that this deck probably is not going to pack a huge punch, but just focus on loading some defenders on the board. Let's keep it. Of course, there are ways to win the game. We have our first defender in Thermo Alchemist, one of our few win conditions here, but given enough time, Thermo Alchemist could kill the opponent by tapping and dealing 1 damage at a time to the opponent, but of course, whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, this guy untaps, and since we are having quite a handful of aftermath spells, we have 2 opportunities to activate the Thermo Alchemist by employing 1 single card, which is pretty neat, sweet. Opponent is going with black, which means that Thermo Alchemist is probably going to die to a nasty removal spell such as Fatal Push, but anyways, we can then use Spring to get some lands on the board. We also have Reduce. Here comes Cut. It wasn't the Fatal Push, so a bit more expensive, but now the opponent has Ribbons in the graveyard to kill us good. I'm guessing we go after some lands over here. We could save mana for Reduce, but with the opponent can at most play something for 3 mana, so I don't think we need to be worried about that. If we are doing Mind and Spring, we want to have double blue, so we can at some point use this Aftermath spell that costs 6, and we also have a couple of blue spells in hand. This is another defender, a 4/4, 5 mana. It can attack if we pay energy. Oh, Jari Offshot, another defender. Go! This one is going to provide us with some life points whenever a land enters into the battlefield. Now, the opponent can only resolve a 1 mana spell if we use our Reduce, which is pretty great. And let's see what the opponent has up there. Maybe he's thinking twice about dumping something into the Jari Offshoot. We could try to resolve this Scarecrow. Oddly enough, the opponent did nothing with 3 mana. So the Scarecrow is going to be able, it's another defender that can search for 2 basic lands, but it is going to take us 2 mana. So if I play it now, we expose the Scarecrow to a removal, but that means the Hermit, if we ever get to play the Crab, is going to have a higher survival rate. Here now we are giving the neglected heirloom to the Scarecrow, so the opponent doesn't kill it as easily. For instance, with the another cat, it would have killed our puny Scarecrow and Disintegration. But lucky for us, the opponent still does not control an artifact, so we missed on the Land Surge and another defender. We don't have the white, so let's just protect our Jari Offshoot. There are quite a number of nice white defenders, but if we are only playing defenders, the white ones are not going to have enough power to give us some victory, so I only have a little limited selection of white. Another cat, but We're going to reduce. There we go. Do not cut my stuff, mostly because this is going to provide us with life. Of course, now the opponent has 2 of these in the graveyard, which is problematic at some point if he gets too much mana. He also has either have. I wonder if he runs another color in his deck. And there we have our white mana source. We gain 1 life. We could. Maybe it's a good idea to drop the Hermit, which, of course, given the cards that the opponent has already shown, it's also going to get killed. But if it doesn't, he can attack. But most important, we got our energy for the Either Hub, which means we now can cast the Fortified Rampart or the Radiant Flames. Opponent also has white, so that means we might meet some exile spells, which wouldn't be very nice. I think we might, maybe we just want to swing here. Activate the crab. So we have all our colors already. Only thing we might need double red for some of the aftermaths. Other than that, we can play all our cards. I'm guessing we do the mind already, and that should be our turn. And well, we just found a few lands that at least we maybe gain some life out of the Jadi offshoot. Chandra! Oh no! She's going to kill the Hermit. Now Planeswalkers are going to be difficult to handle in this deck. Come on, just lands. What do we have in the graveyard? Rabble. Well, maybe it's about time we can use this to keep all those lands tapped down. Should at least slow the opponent. Now we use this. Well, I don't think it matters. Let's drop the hub. Now we don't want to draw any more lands, of course. The opponent only is going to have 2 mana, maybe 3 if he found another land. He's going to +4 the mana, okay. At least it's not a 6 mana spell, it was a Kalitas. Oh, damn it. Are we going to be able to kill that Kalitas? It's going to be very hard. Another defender. This one has reach, which can protect us against flyers. Okay, let's get our life out of the land drop. Radiant Flames maybe is used to kill all the zombies from Kalitas. So why not dropping this Skygate? So that could explain why the opponent has so much removal spells. Maybe all the deck is based around the Kalitas, and I think Chandra is going to kill our defenders, but he has to do a -3, so we are safe for at least 1 turn from Chandra's viewpoint, of course. Oh no, another one. Cast out. No, don't cast out. Damn it. I hate the exile mechanic. He's going to probably take away the neglected heirloom. I forgot to bring any enchantment removal in the deck. So goodbye Neglected Heirloom, I presume. No, it's just the Fortified Rampart, okay. Now what? Swing with Kalitas, I guess. Alright. A little bit of block. It's not too meaningful, but okay, shock. It was to be expected. Another heirloom. That's great. So far, we are actually defending ourselves, but if we don't kill the opponent, it's not going to matter too much. So hopefully we find some action here. Too bad we lost our Thermo Alchemist. By now, the opponent could be very low. The Thermo Alchemist can also take care of the Planeswalkers. And if the opponent swings, he can sacrifice the token to make Kalitas larger. Let's see if he's doing that. Nope, he let the token die for some strange reason. Maybe he wanted to injure the offshoot. He can use Chandra to kill. No, he's doing the plus. Is he going to cast Solemn Offering? Yes, on the heirlooms. No, leave my heirlooms alone, Chandra. Oh. Okay, if we draw a land, I'm quitting. No, it's Thing in the Eyes. Now, I don't want to lose Thing in the Eyes to any other removal, so I'm going to try to have some other spell to flip this right away. It doesn't. I don't know if it's going to matter, since the other side can also be killed. Okay, we lost Jadi Offshoot. Here comes the Shambling Band. But I believe that the game just messed up with the opponent and gave him a tapped Shambling Band. That's no good game. Don't do that to the opponent, poor guy. Okay, maybe if we find a second Thing in the Eyes, we can do. No, it's just land. Oh, but no. What to do? Continue. I don't know. This is not good. This is the one defender that we want to keep because it can become a 7/8 that can swing opponent 8 a token, and now Caritas is a 5/6 that is going to give him lots and lots of life to the opponent. He runs Radiant Flames for sure. And we keep drawing lands. Come on, how much has it been here? Of course we used Gideon, yes. Well, a pretty unoriginal deck, I should say, but it's beating us. Thermal Alchemist. I have to Radiant Flames before or Radiant Flames for 2. I'm going to try to save the Thermal Alchemist using the neglect the heirloom here. Or at least it means that the opponent has to put more effort to kill the Thermal Alchemist, but just swinging, if he just swings with Kalitas, we are in trouble. He also runs the Needle Spires. He can swing with Gideon. Oh, he decided to get the emblem. Kalitas is now a 6-7. And Needle Spires is pretty harsh. Languish, of course. Alright. We've seen enough. He has 2 Chandras here. We are trying to concede the game, but it's not letting us concede. Okay, that was cool, I should say, but the opponent just runs a deck that is going for the throat. Not what we need to see today. We want to keep a good mood. It's trying too hard, the opponent. All the planeswalkers, all the legendaries, all the removals. That's the way to win, of course. Do we want to win? We just want to defend. Let's try just one more and just be happy. It doesn't matter what happens. Just the one thing we don't want to see is mana screw. Other than that, we are going to be happy. So no mana screw, and of course we don't have any creature, but we can get ready with a Spring to Mind here. So I'm guessing we can do the Evolving Wilds first. Maybe hold back the Evolving Wilds, depending on what do we want to do. There's a lot of 2-drops in my deck, so perhaps I should get going my first land here. Let's fetch some red, and maybe if we don't have anything better, we fetch some white. Afterwards we're going to have the spring, 2 springs. Okay, so I'll do the Evolving Wilds. We're going to be thinning out the deck. Prepare to defend the deck. The opponent is probably running an artifact deck. So far red, but I suspect he has white out there. These are very scary vehicles, 7-11 for 1 mana. And I am preparing a vehicle deck that I want to try later on, but first I want to do the defenders. Let's pick up, I guess, white, so we have everything ready. Something cool now, just another land, just what we wanted, not really. I'm going to grab the blue. Well, at least we can Radiant Flames next. The opponent has 2 mana. So far mono red. And oh, he drew 3 of the Consulate Thread. Oh. If he has Start Your Engines, we die on the spot. What are the odds of the opponent having found Start Your Engines, the 3 Dreadnoughts, and enough mana to play all of those? This is a very scary scenario. Can the Hermit save us? I'm not sure. I'm going to play it anyways. At least we get to block the Inventor's Apprentice. So prepare to fight can be used to kill something. He had this. Whoa, that's so cool, opponent. And there's no way that we can survive here. Oh, I think we are facing the luckiest opponent in the entire game here. I mean, try to build this deck and see how often are you going to be able to do this particular play. I think it's awesome. Also, since this was finished so early, so quickly, let's do a final game now. Impressive. We might have witnessed one of the most singular events in the entire game. And if you haven't noticed, the opponent was also running a deck that had over 60 cards. Oh boy. I guess he runs lots of draw there, but turn 4 OTK with all the dreadnoughts, that's just something. And we didn't have enough blockers for that. Okay. Let's go. Happy draws. Here we are going to get. What are we going to get? It's some nice beginning. Despite that we are missing the proper colors, we have either have to, but we have to choose one of our cards to play in colors. So maybe we just scratch that. So I guess we are using the energy for the Jadi offshoot. See, then Evolving Wilds is going to give us 2 life. And I want to get the Thermal Alchemist out as soon as possible. Opponent going red-white. We are going to defend, but also attack Thermal Alchemist. This is a very powerful card. You could build an entire deck around the Thermal Alchemist. Now we don't have to spend the Evolving Wilds on this guy, so let's play Thermal Alchemist on 2, which is faster than playing it on 3. As I was saying, you pack the 4 copies of this, then lots of spells in your deck, and boom, you win by turn 5 or 6, most likely. Of course, it could depend on what the spells are and how quick can you draw the Thermal Alchemist. Let's drop this, I guess. We are not going to want to block the Tireless Tracker, but I could put the Heirloom on something. Now, let's go Thing in the Eyes and the Heirloom, and we might get the hit from the Tireless Tracker if the opponent is able to make her grow. We don't want to lose any of our creatures for the time being. We might get to play the Fortify Rampart later. So I want to get the blue mana. He's going to... Oh, he also runs... Oh. That's not what we wanted to see. Death Thatcher. Thermal Alchemist. Take 1 point of damage, opponent. That's what you deserve. This is colors. I guess the opponent might have Samut in there. So Evolving Wilds. Crack the Evolving Wilds. Bring up a little bit of white mana. It's actually yellow mana, but we call it white. See, I don't think the opponent is going to have any flyer, so I'm willing to waste or champ block with my rich guy over here. pass the turn and hope that we don't get killed by the Hunger Garrison here. And this guy, 1-2 with Revolt. This is a very powerful guy. A 2-3 with thesis for 1 mana if you get Revolt. Maybe the opponent could have saved it after the clues happened. Okay, Tireless Trackers are already 5-4, and the opponent, of course, drawing a lot out of the clues. And he swings. We can block over here, block over here. We are going to block here. That should be it. Any other different block? I guess we could prevent 5, but then the opponent has the human there. Okay, let's prevent 5 for the time being. We take 1 from the Narnam Renegade. The tokens leave. We lose 1 of our defenders. Tap Thermo Alchemist. And a second heirloom can be used, I guess. Right, Rampart. It's a 1 mana cheaper than the Warden of Melethis. And we are going to give the heirloom to the thing in the eyes, which is our main target here. Drop another heirloom. I hope I'm calling this the right way. I wouldn't have guessed that this is pronounced heirloom, but who knows? Maybe I'm very mistaken. And we now have 4 blockers. The opponent's going to have quite... Oh no! He can actually send... He can use the Westvale Abbey right now. But if we flip Thing in the Eyes, that could be great for us. He's going to kill something. +4/+4 over... I'm guessing the garrison or maybe one of the tokens, right? What is he doing here? This is a cool addition. This deck is nice to see. 2 more tokens spawn from the Hunger Garrison. We're going to block 1 of them, block here, and this is a temporary effect. So do I think that is it better to keep the offshoot around? I think we do. We take 5 now, but maybe we gain more life. I guess this is right, hopefully. And of course we are going to ping opponent's face. Given enough time, we could win the game with Thermal Alchemist. Instead we are finding the Consulate Skygate. And what to do? So when this one turns around, it's a 6/6 that can fight something, but what to fight? Not sure. I don't know what the opponent is going to fight. He could play nothing to flip the guy next turn. We don't have any instant in hand. He should just attack with everything, I guess. Alright, I think this is the final game for the defenders. We are losing so bad here. Now Chandra, I want to ping Chandra before she does anything. Let me ping. I want to ping it response. She wants to know his blessing. Okay. It's not as bad as I believed. And here comes a huge swing. Whoa. Right, and 2 more tokens spawn. And the opponent could have saved some mana for activating the clues. We're going to tap the guy, tap this guy, tap one of here. We still take a bunch of damage. We are preventing as much as possible, but still is way too much. And the Prince of Darkness just kill us. I think pinging Chandra is not going to do much, so let's go face. Just because. Now this game we are stuck on just 4 mana, but a gift from heaven. If we had enough mana, we could try to clear the board, but instead we just have to play around with the Guardian of Meletis, and this could also make at some point flip the thing in the eyes, but we are not going to see that happening today. And let's let the opponent finish us off. This is the end of the defenders. Too much pressure. The deck, of course, needs an opponent that wants to go much slower. Get some clues. We can prevent quite a lot of damage, but it turns out that doing just defenders probably requires a different strategy. Maybe I should have gone with less colors. We are running 4 colors here, because the reason for that is that I wanted to have at least 1 copy of each defender available, but maybe I could cut down a few colors in the deck and have a better chance over here. Now we have just 5 points of damage, so no matter how we block, we're going to get little damage, but we can still try, and we are going to let go the Jari offshoot, and what else? There we are. Everybody's blocking somebody different. Okay, we can ping opponent's face just to say that we did. Had we found a few more of these guys, maybe we could be laughing here, but I regret nothing. This deck was meant to be fun, and we don't care. We found a few amusing opponents, especially the Ulrich. It's quite a nice sight, and I hope you have enjoyed anyways. My defense, on the other hand, was great, so I'm partying hard here. So soon I want to show you that vehicles deck that I was talking about, and some other ideas that I want to try, and in the time very soon I'm going to be getting into Magic Arena. So until next time, sayonara.